guys, I'm Clem and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my February wrap-up. So as you may know, since January I decided to do my wrap-up but in a different way, so I'm going to talk about the books I read but also the series and the movies I watched during the month of February. But anyway, without further ado, let me show you what I read and watched in February. So one of the first books I read was The Aventura of Sherlock Holmes by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I read this book for one of my class and I had to read something like 5 or 6 short story in this book. It was really good, really enjoyable. It changed from what I usually read from Arthur Conan Doyle because so far I read maybe 2 or 3 long stories from Arthur Conan Doyle, and it was the first time I read this short story and it was really good. It's not something I'm used to read and it was really interesting and I really liked it. I give it a 4 out of 5 stars. This month I also did a rewatch of all the Hobbit trilogy but in the long version. It's the first time I watch all of it in the long version because I had already watched the first one and the second one, but I never watched the last one in the long version because the last one is not my favorite one. So every time I get to the last one, I'm like, nah, let's watch the normal version. I don't want to watch the long version. But this time I finally did it. The Hobbit is absolutely one of my favorite trilogy. I love The Lord of the Rings and I also love The Hobbit. It's really amazing. I love this world and I love both stories. So I'm definitely going to give 5 out of 5 stars. Next, I also read The Red Elves Mystery by A.A. Milne. I still don't know how to pronounce his name. It was really different from the other books I have to read for my detective story class. It was good, but at the same time it was really weird. I don't know. It was enjoyable. I think I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars or something like that. Yeah, it was interesting. This month I also rewatched for, I don't know, maybe the 10th or 20th time, I don't know, something between those two, Zootopia or Zootropolis. I don't really know what's the name in English of this, but this movie, it's one of my favorite movies. I love this Disney, it's so good. I love everything about it. It's just so cute. And one of the main characters is a fox and I'm obsessed by foxes, so I absolutely love it. And I don't know, I could watch it all day. I love the story, I love the world building in it. And it changed from the other Disney. For once it's not a princess and fighting for a kingdom and something like that. No, it's the story of this very cute rabbit. So yeah, definitely 5 out of 5 stars. This month I also read 2 Agatha Christie for still the same class. I read The Body in the Library and The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. I think that's how you say it. The first one, The Body in the Library, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, and The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Both of them were really interesting because it's usually when I read Agatha Christie, I read the main ones, I read The Murder of the Orient Express, the other one which I don't know the title in English, which is basically, they're on this island and everybody is dying one after the other, following a poem. It's my favorite one, I love it. And it was the first time I read Miss Marple and it was really new and really fresh because usually I read Hercule Poirot because I really love this character. But compared to Hercule Poirot, Miss Marple is really less present in the investigation and stuff like that, which is really interesting and I can't wait to talk more about it in class, because there's some stuff I have a lot of questions on it, so I can't wait to talk about this in class. And this month I also watched the first, the second and the third season of Brooklyn Nine-Nine on Netflix. Yes, I know, I have a problem. At first I just wanted to finish the first season that I had started such a long time ago. So I started and I was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Why did I never continue with this TV series? So I watched the second one and it was, yeah. And then I watched the third one and so right now I have to stop because I have all my shows are coming back like in March, so I'm not going to have time for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and also my essays are coming up and I need to work. Actually, I need to do something with my life, like with my studies. But all of these seasons were really good. I will give them between 4.5 and 5.5 stars. The first book I read for myself this month was The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. If you don't know what it is, basically it's a collection of tales from the Grisha world, and it's like what children and people from the Grisha world would have heard when they were kids and stuff like that, like it's tale and myth and stuff like that. It's really good because I love fairy tales, and so if I can read fairy tales and at the same time from the Grisha world, it's amazing. I gave it a 4.5 or 0.75 out of 5 stars. Like, my two favorite stories are the first one, which is I can't say the name, Ayama, I don't know how to say it, and the Thorn Hood, and the last one, When Water Sang Fires. These are my two favorite ones. They're really amazing, and the drawings in this book are beautiful. Like, I'm going to show one to you there. Have you seen that? How beautiful it is? Like, I love it. And as I told you, I love tales, so it was really nice to read that, and yeah, and it was really amazing. I loved it. In February, I also watched for the second time Hacksaw Ridge with Andrew Garfield. I at first saw this movie in the plane from New York, and it broke me because this movie is really beautiful. I really loved it the first time, and come on, there is Andrew Garfield, so every time there is Andrew Garfield, like, I'm, oh yeah, let's watch this movie. This movie sounds great because, like, there is my man in it, so yeah. And so when I saw it was on Netflix, like maybe in November, I wanted to rewatch it, but I actually rewatched it in January, and it was still good. It was really amazing. I would give this movie a 4.5. because like the beginning is really slow. Like, I mean like you have to get this very long beginning to understand the character, like the main character, and why he does what he does after. But for the second time it was like, I was like, oh my gosh, I thought like the action was coming like earlier in the movie, but it was still really great. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It's beautiful. This month I finally read A Gathering of Shadows by V.E. Schwab. So this is the second book in the Shade of Magic trilogy, and it was amazing. I absolutely loved it. If you don't know what the Shade of Magic trilogy is basically you're following this main character named Caleb, and it's what they call an Antari. And the Antari has the ability and the power to travel through a different London. So in this universe there are 4 Londons. So there is the Grey London, like the normal London that we all know. There is the Red London, from which Kel is from. The White London, which is like ruled by bad people, and the Black London, who was like eradicated by magic. And in each one of them there is magic, but at different level. In the red one, magic is really powerful and a lot of people have it. In the white one, it's a little bit more complicated because like of what's happening, and in the grey one there is no magic, or at least it disappears. And so in this one you're still following Kale and Lila that you meet in the first one. And it was really good because like we see more of Lila, and I really love this character. And also we have this new character which I forgot his name, and I love myself right now, like the captain of the boat. I hate myself, what's his name? I don't know right now. Why did I forget the character's name? Anyway, this dude. And one of the main events of this one is what they call the Eastern Task, and it was amazing to read it because it gave me like some sort of Hunger Game vibes, except it was like not that deadly, and just games and like conquest between people with magic, and it was amazing. Like, I really loved it. I can't wait to pick the last one, which are coming out in March, like in this version, because like the end of this book is awful. Like, V.E. Schwab, what are you doing? Like, the ending of this book, like, people had to wait 1 year to know what was happening after that. I don't know how they did it. Like, seriously, if you had to wait 1 year after this one, like, I'll clap my hands. I don't know how you do it, like, bravo. The next movie I saw in February, and it was like a bit like I had to see it because come on, I'm a Marvel fan, and I saw Black Panther. I saw it like online. I know it's not good, like I even me like was like, okay, I have to see this online, but I had nobody to come see me, like to see it with me, and I'm poor, so I was tired of seeing everybody talking about it like on Twitter and everywhere. So I wanted to say, one afternoon I said, okay, I have to work, but fuck work, I'm going to watch Black Panther today. I watched it, and this movie is beautiful. It changed so much from what Marvel usually does, and I'm really enjoying what Marvel is doing like lately, like with the last Thor, and Marvel and the Avenger Infinity War is going to destroy me, but I can't wait because this movie is going to be fucking amazing. So please give like Infinity War to me right now. But Black Panther, I would give this movie 5 out of 5 stars because so good. I can't wait to see more of all the characters, and the female characters in this movie are fucking badass. Like they're all amazing. There is not a female character that you don't like. They're all beautiful, and they're warriors, and they can fight, and they're intelligent, and they're beautiful. They're everything. Like I love that. And also, like while watching it, I had so many Lion King vibes, because sometimes I was like, oh my gosh, it's exactly like the Lion King, and it was amazing because I love the Lion King. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. The last book I read this month was I'll Give You the Sun by J.D. Nelson. So you're following like those two twins, Noah and Jude. And at the beginning of the story, like you're following them and they're 13, like, but something happened during the summer. They're 13 years old and you don't really know why, because before that they were really close, like they were real twins, like spending all the time together. They could tell like what the other was thinking and stuff like that. But after, like the rest of the story is telling from Jude, but she's 16, and you understand that something happened during this summer, but you really don't know why, and now they're completely different. So you're reading to understand what happened and why did they sleep, and like some people are dead and stuff like that. Like it's really nice, and they both are artists, so it's really nice to read about artist kids and stuff like that. But one of the main problems I had with this book is first, the chapters are so fucking long. Like there is 5 or 6 chapters in this book of 400 pages, and one of them was more than 100 pages, and I was like, no, I need break, I need something like, even like, okay, you can have parts in the book, but do like small chapter into it, because I don't like long chapter, like it doesn't make me want to read, so don't do it. So it really bothered me. And the other thing is that it's so freaking poetic all the time, like it's full of metaphors and stuff like that, and poetic vision, poetic images, and I'm like, I can't, like, okay, I can take some poetic vision, like some poetic like sentences, images, metaphors, but not all the freaking time. Sorry, my camera broke, but as I was saying, like it looks like the author, J.D. Nelson, since her 2 characters are like, one is a sculptor and the other one is like more painter, since they are like artists, everything has to be artsy, everything they think, everything they say, everything they do has to be artsy and poetic. And at the end it was really like I couldn't stand that anymore. I was like, please, can you talk normally or think normally? Like every time, like for example, there is this ship between like 2 characters, and every time he's like, yeah, we were going into the moon and he was my son, I was his moon. I was like, please, like no one thinks like that all the time. It's not possible to be that poetic all the time, because I couldn't stand to be like that. But anyway, the story was really good, and the ending and the relationship between Noah and Jude was really interesting, even more since like they were very close, and then something broke between the 2 of them, and they had to learn to be like twins again. It was really interesting and I really loved it, but still, like this part of the poetic stuff was too much for me. And last but not least, I finally saw Gangster Squad. And I, like, since this movie came out like maybe 3 or 5 years ago, or 4 years, I don't really know when it came out, but a long time ago. Like, once it was in the theater, I wanted to go see it, but I don't know, I never went to see it. And after I had so many occasions to see it, like it was on TV, it was for a moment I think on Netflix or something like that. It was always on my list, but I never saw it. And then I watched it this month, and it was amazing. Like, I just want to slap myself right now, like, why didn't you watch it before? Because this movie is really good. And Emma Stone in this movie, oh my gosh, this woman is really beautiful. It's really irritating sometimes, but yeah, I really love the story, so I will give it maybe a 4.5 out of 5 stars, just because like I watched it in English. And Ryan Gosling, please articulate sometimes, we can't understand what you're saying. So just like that, just with that, I'm not giving this movie 5 out of 5 stars. So yeah guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoy it. I'm sorry for the length of the video, but actually this month I really read and watched a lot of things, so yeah, I'm sorry. But anyway, if you like it, don't forget to share it and to give a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to see more of me and more of my two friends. And yeah, I will see you next time. Bye guys!